Time to replace the rear tire on my 2020 Z and/or Z 900 RS. This is what the factory tire is looking like at 6,618 miles. New tire selected for this job is this Michelin Pilot Power 3. I'm super curious to see how hard it's going to be to break the bead on this tire. So I let the air out of it. I'm going to try and use clamps first just to see what happens. My goal, of course, is to do absolutely no damage to this wheel whatsoever. I dreamed this up last night, so I wanted to give it a try, see what happens. I think it might break one side loose, probably not both, but I'm just curious. This rod is just really long because I don't feel like cutting it. Might use it on something else. This is pretty trick. I think it's going to work. I think it's going to work on both sides. Thought I'd give you a little look, sneak peek at what's going on. Left side. Let's carry on with it. If I would spend the time to do 2 of these right from the start, this thing, the bead would already be broke on both sides. Enough playing, I got one side, the bead broke. We need to get this wheel and tire off. One and a 1/16 socket, I don't know what that is in millimeters. $12 millimeter. Oh! I'm gonna scratch my friggin' wheel. This thing has got to be out of the way. There we go. I'll show you how that worked. Get my wheel off. Woof! Fortunately, I did not damage my wheel, but I could have very easily. The way this works, there's a slot right here on this bracket, and I knew it. I just wasn't paying attention. And it fits right here on the frame. So when you guys take this bolt out on this side and you pull it out, you need to slip the wheel back just enough to get this caliper out and up out of the way of your wheel. Be a lot easier done with 2 people, but carefully could be done with 1. My little method of breaking the bead was pretty effective, so I'm going to do it on the other side too. This time I put a board here, and this is a piece of really good foam so it doesn't damage my wheel. And this will just hold this whole side while I tighten this other side with a washer on it. Hopefully it'll compress and break the bead on this side. Let's see what happens. There she goes. Got her broke on both sides. Soapy water will be my best friend in removing and installing a tire. Rim guards, they're just plastic something or another's. Once you get your tool in here, you need to push it down around the edges so that it's able to flip off of the rim. Got a little greedy trying to grab too much at once. Back her up. Don't want to damage the wheel. Gonna lube up this side too. Keep your tire pulled upward so it hits kind of the middle of the rim, and that way you'll have more slack in the tire to peel it off. Whew. Always an arrow on your tires showing which direction they rotate while they're on your motorcycle. Don't get them backwards. Make sure the arrow is going the direction the tire would roll on the road. She's on! Some Michelin tires don't have them because they're well balanced, but most tires have a dot right here. That indicates the lightest spot in the tire, and you're supposed to put this where the valve stem is to help balance the tire out. Balancing beads. I'm going to put 2 ounces of balancing beads inside of this tire through this hose. The valve stem is still removed so I can slip them on in there. Oh! Holy mackerel. I should have shook it a little bit. Holy moly. I thought the balancing beads were supposed to fit through the valve stem, but they didn't. That was a waste of time, energy, and money. I should have put them directly in the tire before I seated the bead. It's okay, I have confidence in this Michelin tire. I would say it's balanced pretty good anyways. If it's not, I may balance it another way, or break the bead down, put the balancing beads in it, or put the balancing beads in one at a time through the valve stem, which would take forever. Always big debates about tire pressure on these motorbikes. I just go by what the tag says on the motorbike. In this case, it's 42 PSI. Sickens me that the factory would put a wheel weight on like this onto this nice wheel, but I'm going to have to get it off and try my hardest not to scratch it. That is why I don't appreciate that wheel weight. When it goes on, it scratches the paint off. When it comes off, it scratches it again. Couldn't stand it, had to check the balance on this tire just to make sure it wasn't way out. The heavy spot on the tire will always go to the bottom, so no matter where you turn it, if it's out of balance and it's got a heavy spot on it, it's going down to the bottom. I can also roll it, see where it settles and stops, and then move it a different position, like halfway up, and see if it'll roll back down, and it doesn't. This tire is well balanced. Be sure the lines on your block are straight up and down to match these lines when you adjust your chain, and straighten your wheel on your bike. Adjust your chain deflection according to the sticker located on the swing arm right here. Marcella now has a new tire and she is ready to hit the road once again. I won't be going on a test ride right now because it is raining outside quite ferociously. This is certainly not the only way to change a tire on a Z900 RS, certainly not the best way to change a tire on a Z900 RS. Hopefully this video gives you a little bit of a reference on what you're going to have to do when you change the tire on your own motorbike. Thanks for watching, ride safe, we'll see you next time.